What is happening, everybody, and welcome back to today's episode of Why Did I Buy a Mini Truck? On this episode, we're kind of just going to go over some of the stuff I've been working on the truck. I know I haven't been filming a whole lot, but I've been really trying to get this stuff done. I was trying to get it painted last weekend, but there's still a lot to do, so I think we're going to aim for next weekend. I'm really trying to get this out to the last Cars and Coffee of July, so hopefully we can make it. But let's kind of give you the rundown of some of the things we've been working on. You guys saw that we had our fuel cell area all set up. We just have our little supports here to kind of give a nice flat surface to mount to. And then on the underside, we have strips that are pretty much identical to this that will just be sandwiched, and that kind of gives just extra surface area for the fuel cell so it doesn't rip out of the bed, which is really important. We do also have to finish making the straps. I did go ahead and get the air tank and the compressor brackets all mounted up, so I'm really happy with how these turned out. They are like a free float, and I think they came out pretty well. Obviously the tank's not perfectly centered yet or anything, but straps are good. Both of these brackets are good. We'll go ahead and tuck a relay up on each side for the compressors, keep the relay close to the compressor, and also keep it able to be serviced without just being right out in the open. So I think that'll look really good and really help clean up a lot of the wiring. So we do have our rear flares, our skirts, and our front flares on. So let's kind of start back here. There are some things I need to make. I need to make this little block off plate right here. I've got a little piece of cardboard in there. It's roughly the shape I need. Obviously, we're going to have to put some tabs on it. I think 2 tabs that will actually be riveted to the bed, and then the tab that sticks out this way will have a riv nut in it so you can bolt the fender on. But this is obviously just for the kit that's on this truck. The skirts themselves, we'll get to those in just a minute, but I'm really happy with how the rear kind of came out. I think that the fitment is perfect for the truck. Now this is laid all the way out on frame. We're pretty close all the way around. We could come a little bit lower, but I had cut the bed a little too high, so this is kind of where they're going to land. I did air the truck up to where ride height's going to be, and I think it looks great. Plenty of room, don't have to worry about busting the fender up, and it also doesn't look like the bed is floating. So really happy with how that turned out. As far as the skirts go, they are this is actually just one of our experimental skirts, so this is kind of like one of the first ones that we had to work with. I am using this skirt on my truck just so I can go ahead and make any modifications to it I need to, which is why it doesn't have an end plate yet. That's why there's a cardboard CAD in there, and then we have to make an end plate here. So what I'd like to do with the skirt is on the very top portion, they'll be pre-drilled obviously, but on the very top portion they're going to mount just underneath where your exit side step trim would be located. You can still put it on top of it, no big deal, it does not interfere. And then on the bottom there's actually a reinforcement strip, and you're going to use those to bolt it up to your pinch welds on your truck. Super easy installation. Everybody should have no problem getting these on their truck. Now they will be a 2-piece skirt, so you will have a split right here. However, there will be extra material, so you can fine tune that, or you can create almost like a slip if you'd like. But I'll leave a portion there so you can trim it up to the gap that you have for your bed. So this way it doesn't look out of place when you go ahead and get it all mocked up. Now there will be some areas along here where you see this flat edge that comes up that will actually have pre-drilled holes, and what you'll do is you'll just rivet those or put some weld nuts and be able to bolt it right up to your truck. Ideally, the best way to do the skirts would be to rivet it all in place and use some sort of panel bond, and then pull the rivets out or just shave them smooth and go ahead and body fill them in. But like I said, these skirts on the truck will be a little bit different since we are running the rear flares. We need to accommodate for that small gap there in the back. Now on the front, I did end up going with a 3-inch flare. Now I was gonna go with just a 2-inch. However, the truck does have a fair amount of camber when it's aired out. As you can see, it doesn't really fill the inner well that much, but when it airs up and we get to the ride height we want, this flare is almost perfect fitment. As a matter of fact, I actually have to trim some of the inside because it's so close. Now up here in the front, you can see that there's a tape line there. That tape line is where I need to trim the fender, and I also need to trim the flare. The bumper actually will slide back here, and I'm still on the fence about how I'm going to mount the bumper up on the sides. So the bumper support that will come with every one of the bumpers for the truck, if you buy one, ours is coming back from powder coat soon, so we're waiting on that. But when it shows up, everyone will come with a bumper support. It'll bolt in right where your factory bumper used to bolt. Same brackets, everything bolts right up. You bolt your bumper to that. And then over here on the side, you'll have two templates. You'll have one that will either be to trim the front fender and fold in order to make another mounting point for your front bumper, or it'll have a template where you can shave the bumper to fit around your front fenders, because the bumper support will be more than enough to keep that thing from moving around. So with that being said, guys, there's a lot of work I have to get back to, but I wanted to give you guys this little mini update on the truck to show you some of the stuff that we're working on. When I do go to finalize the flares, the skirts, and the bumper, I will make that all its own video. I'll probably actually break the front bumper video down, and I will break down the skirt video for you guys so you can see how I mount them up. If you guys are interested in the flare videos, let me know, but this is pretty much all the hard work is done. There are some spots in the back that I have to fill from the previous flares I was going to use, but realistically, it's just about figuring out where the best spot is. You know, our trucks in the front have that weird arch. Same thing in the rear, actually, where they're not a round arch. They're more of like a plateau style top. So just making sure that you fit all this stuff in the front is really the biggest deal. Make sure you get one that's wide enough to cover that. I believe 32 inches is from that corner to that corner, which would accommodate for the whole notch. So definitely keep that in mind if you're going to run flares. But like I said, guys, I'm really excited with how this is turning out. I will get some more videos out soon. I have just been grinding. I made these tubs with these little block off plates, which is really nice. They do have some seam sealer in here. I got to clean up a little bit before we bedline, but other than that, the rear is done. We will be putting some trim around here just to clean it up. Now I am looking at the truck, and I think that we're gonna do the mirror delete. I got a brand new set of mirrors, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the block offs and we're gonna run fender mirrors on here. I think it'll really just help complete the overall look of the truck and keep it kind of JDM, you know. I mean, let me know what you think, fender mirrors or regular mirrors. So the truck right now is currently laying frame, and as you can see, the skirts, plenty of room under the skirts, got about, let's say about an inch or so. So that's really nice, which means if you're lowered or you're on blocks or whatever, the skirts will clear just fine. Same thing with the front bumper. With the front bumper on, you got about an inch, inch and a half of clearance when you're laying frame. So if you are lowered a little bit, you should be just fine. So I'm gonna get back to work sanding and doing all of the stuff that we do in here in this little one-car garage. But I hope you guys get out there, get those projects done, get a bunch of cool things rolling, and until the next one, peace.